Hello, everyone. I'm Elena. This is our Cognos Analytics second session. So here is the agenda for tonight. We're going to talk about dashboards, infographics, about adding visualizations and widgets to the dashboards, applying filters. We're going to talk about stories and also the group work. Okay. Now, so where did we stop last time? We were working with claims and weather data. So here's a partial screenshot of data. The data tracks the customer information and the vehicles that they drive, their coverage, insurance coverage information, and we use that to estimate the claim amount, right? So that's what we did. And also, as you remember, we did some data pre-processing. So what we did was we added the embedded filter to remove the rows missing effective date, because we determined that the rows missing effective date were missing a lot of other values in them. Then we created the selectable filter that allows us to look at the cars with personal policy type for small vehicles. So basically, remember the selectable filter is a filter that you can turn on and off, right? Then we also noticed that some columns, such as income, right, it also had some missing values. So what we did was we replaced the missing values with the column average. The only thing that are added in here since then is that we may round it. So if an average, for example, is like 90.999, we can round it to 91, right? So that's the only thing that I added. Then also monthly premium values, some of them are missing, and we're replacing it with the average. Then claim reason, some values were missing, and I'm replacing it with a value called other. So this is just the summary, right? Then for some of the columns, we created the data groups, remember? Data groups is the same thing as binning, and you watch the videos for numeric columns and for categorical columns. So this is nothing but the summary. Okay, so then if you look at this, so here it is, I'm going to the my content, right? So that's a little bit slow today, Cognos a little bit slow. And I have this little data module, right? Claims and weather data module. So that's our data. Remember that, right? Oops. See, it's a little bit taking its time today. Not sure why, but Cognos has bad days as well. So that's fetching. Remember that when you use data module, you can preview data and you can preview all of this. You can see all of the filters that we defined, right? That was a calculation, average income. And this is the standalone calculation because you're not storing the value for each row of the data, right? So here is, see this little funnel indicates that we applied the filter to the data, right? So here it is, see? Then those are the grouped columns. Then also you created this one. What is this? This is a selectable filter, right? If I click on edit filter, I should see how it's defined. And you have to use descriptive name because when you are in the data exploration, you can apply filter, but you cannot see how it's defined. So if you name it something like filter, you won't know what it is unless you go back in here and see what it's defined, right? So that's the data. I'm going to close that. Next, last time we looked at something called data explorations, right? So that's of explorations. And data explorations contain the set of cards with visualization on each card. But the problem is the purpose of the data exploration is for you to get some insights about the data, but that's not something that you're going to present to your manager, perhaps, right? This is just basically for you, and it contains a set of cards, and there is no relationship between cards. There is no way to select one data point in one card and make the same data point to be selected in the other card. Then remember, there is no way to change how the visualizations look like, right? You cannot change the background color. You cannot change the color of the images. Like see here, I'm selecting this one, my monthly premium. outer by vehicle class. Well, as soon as it loads, you're gonna see it's a blue color, but I cannot change it. I cannot add the background. I cannot add any text to it. I cannot modify how it looks like, basically, right? So that's leading us to something new and leading us to the dashboard. So why do we create dashboards? To present the insight about the data. We put combinations of visualization with attractive layout, and you specify how things appear. Then if visualizations on the same tab use the same data source, then if you select one point in one visualization, the same data point could be selected in other visualizations. Like, for example, if I select the state, Iowa state, in one visualization, the rest of the visualizations will be filtered for Iowa, right? If they're on the same tab and if they use the same data as a source. Then you may add text, you may add widgets in addition to data visualization. Then you can also reuse the visualizations from explorations and from other dashboards. You may toggle between view mode and edit mode. So view mode is basically preview how the manager or whoever you're presenting it will see. Edit mode is a mode where you can edit. It's when you're editable, right? So then it's a little bit similar to data exploration workspace in the sense that you may create navigation paths, you may create calculations. But remember this, any calculations that you create in the dashboard level won't be available to any other dashboards that were created from the same data source. If you want to create a calculation that is available in all dashboard, storybook, etc., where you use the same data as a data source, you're going to create it where? In a data module, right? So now we're going to create our first dashboard. There are multiple ways to do that, but what we will do, finally it loaded, but let's close this. Okay, I'm gonna close this data exploration. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create the first dashboard. How do you do it? Well, first of all, see this is data module, it appears in recent, but if it does not appear in recent, it's gonna be in my content. So see this is claims and weather data module. What you can do is this. You can click here and it will open up the context menu if it cooperates. So there's a little slow. But clicking here opens a context menu. And then what you do is you can click on create dashboard. Now, there are several types of dashboards here. Oops. I should have selected the create dashboard. Oh, here, create dashboard. There we go. Now, there are several layouts. Infographic is a single page, long page, right? Think of it this way. Tab layout, tab dashboard, it contains multiple tabs. You may apply a filter to all tabs, or you may apply a filter to the separate tab, right? But there are a lot of things in common where you may reuse visualizations, etc. But the thing is, we're going to use tabbed because you can convert the tabbed dashboard into a story. That's another topic we'll talk about today. But tabbed dashboard can be saved as a story. So what I did for you here, I spelled out the differences, right? Both are interactive and both have predefined templates. But the thing is, we use tabbed because it's easier to save it as export it as a story. But the infographic cannot be saved as a story. So that's the reason why we don't use that. Okay, now, see this, there are different templates. There is a predefined templates and there is a freeform template. With the predefined templates, nothing is that they adjust based on the screen size. Freeform does not. It does not have a predefined design, right? And sometimes it's long, you may need to scroll. But if it's a predefined, it contains the panel, and the panel is a placeholder for the widget. So that's something called relative positioning, right? There are multiple choices of the panels, but to be honest, I like 2x2 because, well, the more you have on the page, the longer the page is going to take to load, right? So my preference is 2x2. I'm going to click OK to select it. So what I did right now, I created a brand new dashboard, right? I created brand new dashboard, but for some reason, I don't see my data source showing up. Well, if it does not, you can also do it this way. You can click select data source, select source, and then select the data that you want to use, right? Okay. So if for some reason data source is not selected, you can do this. You can just click add a source. Here it is my content, and I want to use this data module as a source. For some reason, it was not selected. Usually it is. Because what I did was I clicked on the context menu of the data source, right? And I selected a new dashboard. So here it is. Now it's loading. Over here, what I expect to see is, here is the data. What is this? This is a standalone calculation. You remember? We created a standalone calculation. So here, this is my data set, and I see the list of columns. For each column, the icon indicates the column data type. In addition to columns, what is this? Those are the groups, right? The data groups, we define them in data module, and they're visible here. This is our selectable filter, right? But if we did not use descriptive names, there is no way to tell what this is without going back to data module, right? So similar to data exploration, you have those a little icon. An icon indicates the column data type, like claim amount. And what we could do is you can also, if you needed to, you can look at the column properties, right? And another thing that was changed in the total claim amount, aggregation was changed. So in other words, when I want to summarize the column, I want to be looking at the average claim amount, right? So perhaps if I want to look at the average claim amount in the county, I don't care about the total sum of claims, right? I don't care about the sum of all claims. I'm interested in the average, right? So now what you need to do is remember, you always need to save the work. How do we save it? We click here on a floppy disk, and there should be an option save as. Today it's a bit slow. Well, we have to deal with it. But there should be an option. Then where you save it, for the time being, I'm gonna save it in the my content, and I'm gonna call it as claim amount, right? I'm just gonna call it claim amount dashboard. Okay, dashboard. Okay, I'm gonna click on save now. Okay, I saved it. Another thing that you want to note in here, you have this little undo and redo. Well, remember I said before that you cannot undo if you deleted something, you cannot undo, correct. But here, this is just undo, redo the latest change to this dashboard, okay? This is just the latest change. Now here, see this, if this pencil here is underlined, right? See this little dot? It means right now I'm in the edit mode. If I click here like this, see this, I'm right now in the preview mode. I can toggle between edit and preview mode. Now I'm back in edit mode. This area here, we're gonna look at filters later on, but that area can be collapsed if you want to. This area here, this is pins, and I'll talk about the pins shortly. You have assistant, and it works similar to assistant that you had in the data exploration. You can use assistant to add visualizations, remember? The same thing applies here. Okay, so if I type in something like data, right, I'm gonna see the data that I can access, and I have this claims and weather data module in my content, do you remember? It's gonna give me the information, it's the same. It's gonna give me information about my columns in the data. But again, today, yes. So see this, and I can click on any column to get more information about that column. then I can see the different visualizations. And if I want to, I can drag and drop those visualizations here if I want to. Okay, so now you know that you can also use Assistant to edit visualizations. Now take a look at this. You have one tab at the moment. You can have multiple tabs. So I can add a new tab. When I add another tab, I don't have to stick with the same template, but I'm gonna still keep 2 by 2 because I like it, right? Well, that takes some time today. Now, another thing is that I mentioned that there are properties, and the properties that you see depends on what you currently have selected. At the moment, I don't have any visualization selected, but when I click on properties, it's just gonna be the properties of the of the page, right? So, like for example, I can specify the properties of my tab. I want to change the color of a title to the red. Then I want to do, oops. So I change that. Then I want to do the selection indicator. I want to do the green. So the tab, whatever got selected, I wanted to highlight as green, well, etc. If I want to, I could change my background. I can change my color palette and etc. Right? So layout positioning, well, so I'll let you play around with this, but here I don't have anything selected, so I can just change the properties of the tab, right? Properties of the page. I'm gonna click on save, right? I want to save the work, save. Well, see this, it's a little bit slow, save. Okay, your dashboard has been saved too. Now, well, do you remember that last time we created the data exploration, right? So, but how do you access it? You're gonna have to go to welcome page, and that's an exploration I had recently opened. I can click on this, and the data exploration contains a set of cards, and you can reuse those cards in your dashboards. How do you reuse those cards? Well, take a look at this. Like for example, this is total claim amount by vehicle class. I want to reuse this. I want to reuse this visualization in my dashboard, right? What I could do is I could click here. Oops, there should be an option to pin. Let it load. Okay, it loaded here. See this? I clicked here. I have an option to pin. What does the pin do? It adds a bookmark. Okay, I'm gonna click on pin. Well, it says process and pin. What is gonna happen is that it's gonna add a bookmark for this visualization. Okay, well, right now it's processing. Today we have to be patient with Cognos. Okay, processing. Once it's done processing, then when I click here, I'm supposed to see the visualizations that I just added. Okay, well, it's still processing. So those are the visualizations that I added before. I added those earlier. And you're gonna see the same pins, regardless what you have opened, you're gonna see the same set of pins. And I have a video that I created more on pins, on how to search them, and etc. Okay. One thing to remember is that you can use visualizations between explorations and the dashboards, but keep in mind that sometimes you may lose the property. If I was going to use dashboard visualization in here, I would lose all of those properties that I specified. And I demonstrated it in the video that I recorded for you. So here is the pin, see this? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going back to my claims and weather dashboard, and I can add the visualization from pin. See this? I can just drag and drop. Well, see, this is what you do if you have visualizations that you want to reuse between your you want to reuse between your explorations and stories, right? So this is gonna take, it takes time to load today, not sure. Well, so see this, basically you can add 4 different visualizations. Here is a multiple ways to add visualizations to the dashboard. You can use Assistant the way you used the way you used your other, remember the way you use assistant when you did the exploration, you can do the same thing here. Add visualizations from assistant. You can add visualizations from pin. You can also create new visualization from scratch, right? Like for example, I'm gonna get this pie chart in here. Okay, so this is a pie chart. When I create visualization, I must specify what, see those are called data slots. And if you see the little asterisk next to the data slot, it means that whatever specified here, it's what it's required, right? So now what I want to do is, I want my segments to be perhaps, I want each segment to be the state. So this is a state. It's going to be the segment. And the relative side, I want to be the number of customers, right? I want it to be customers, size is well, what is it going to do is each slice should be the relative number of customers. Remember, the pie chart is useful for showing the portion of data, right? So I'm going to have each slice, see this, each slice, and in this case, it's showing me the number of customers. But what I'm really interested is in the percentage of customers. Is this possible to change it? Yes, it is, and I'll show you how. So you have this visualization selected, right? What you need to do is you're gonna go to the properties here. You open up the properties, then you're gonna see the properties of the pie chart. It's taken, okay, now here it is. Well, see this, I'm gonna click on the chart here, and I need to select display the percentages. That changes, it shows my percentages here. See that, it shows percentages. Then there are some additional properties that I can do. Is this, for example, I like to change that. It's gonna make it look like a donut. See, the appearance basically. Okay, then if I want to show label, I can do that. Well, I'll undo that. That way it's better, right? Well, we'll play around with that a little bit and see what works for you, right? One thing to keep in mind is that when you add the background colors, you want to make sure that your text is still readable, right? Make sure that the text is still readable. Also here you put it by state, right? You can add another visualization if you want by state. Or if you just go to your data here, remember you can also drag and drop fields if you want to. But this is just here is the total claim amount by vehicle class. That's what I have. This is just number of relative number of people by the state, right? Percentage of people by the state. And this is on tab 2. I can go back to the tab 1, and I can also add this visualization here, and I'm doing it for a reason. So I have the same visualization on 2 tabs, and I added it for a reason, and I'll show you the reason. Okay, so see this, I edited now. Another thing, well, I edited it completely from scratch, right? I showed you that. Then you can I showed the bookmark, right? But let's see if this bookmark still works. This is total claim amount. Oh, this is monthly premium by the class. So let's see if I can do that. Oh, excellent. I was able to do it, right? So here, this is the vehicle class, and I added monthly premium, right? So now, if I wanted to, I could duplicate it, right? Remember, I could do this duplicate. Then I can drag and drop the copy. One, here we go. I can drag and drop here. But instead of monthly premium, I can select something else. So how do you do this? You click here. This takes visualization into what? Focus mode, right? So I'm gonna remove this column, monthly premium. I'm just gonna go delete, and I'm gonna add something else, right? Like well, we know we are interested in, maybe let's do this one, number of policies, something like that. Let's do number of policies. Okay, so I did that, right? Okay. Okay, vehicle class, number of policies, something like that. Okay, and okay, so I have 3 visualizations, right? I can duplicate this again if I want to. Okay, and I'm gonna select something else. Duplicate one. Okay, and I'm doing it because I want to show you how the filters work. Okay, so now I'm gonna move that here. Okay, and so here also vehicle class, but if I click here, I instead of this, I can put something else. Let's say, well, I can do, well, vehicle size. Let's try. Well, nope, that's not gonna work because of the plots we use. So let's do month since last claim. It has to be numeric here. Okay. Well, this should load in a second. Okay. There we go. Well, I'm just showing you this example. So see here, first tab, right? Second tab. I'm also doing something by vehicle class on the second tab. Now what I want to do is I want to add my filters, right? So what you need to do, what you could do first, I want to save this. Always save the work. Now what I'll do, see this area with filters is expandable. I'm gonna open it again. I'll close the properties. Now what I'll do, I want to take the vehicle class and add this filter here. So let's see, vehicle class, I'm trying to find, there we go. So take a look at this. Right now, I'm gonna apply the filter to all tabs. I click here. See this, what I'm gonna do right now, it's gonna give me a set of values to select, and I'm going to select just a couple. See this is the performance today. Okay. I want to do the 4-door car and I want to do the luxury. I want to do these 3. Take a look what's going to happen right now. I applied the filter. All of these are going to refresh, right? I'm not going to see what I did not select. It refreshes all of this. And also it will refresh this. Well, see this? This already refreshed. And when I go back to this tab, see, it got refreshed based on this. See this? I see it here. And this shows me that I selected only 3 values. And I applied this filter to where? I applied it to all, right? I applied this filter to all tabs. In this case, there are 2 tabs. Next thing, I can remove this filter, right? I delete this filter. And now I'm going to do, just apply it to this tab. So I'll go vehicle class. I applied it here. And I'm going to select few values again. But what's going to happen is, well, it's not going to be applied. Oh, see, I deleted the filter. It's taking a little bit to unapply. Now I'm going to do just this, SUV and sports car. I'm going to click OK. It's going to take a little bit of time. But when I go back here to this tab, oh, clear. It had another filter for some reason. Well, but the thing is, the idea what's supposed to happen in here is that the filters that I just applied, I only put it on this tab and it's taking a little bit of time to adjust. See this visualization just got adjusted. It's because on this tab I selected 2 vehicle types, but I did not do anything on this tab, right? I still see all vehicle types. Why do I see all vehicle types in here? Because the filters that I just applied was only for the first tab. I did not apply the filter to the second tab, right? So this is about the filters. You can apply the filter to multiple tabs, right? Or you can apply the filter to the single tab. All right. Then another thing that I mentioned is that if I select one data point, the same data point is selected in other tabs, but what I did was I have a separate file to demonstrate it, which is much easier to understand, like why you're gonna do it sometimes. So my content, well, this one is connection demo. That's a little demo for connections. So now I'm gonna try to open it. Come on. Okay, here we go. Well, see this, what it's doing now, it's opening the dashboard and it's showing total claim amount by vehicle class, but it's gonna be, I'll show you. It looks like top and bottom are the same, but I'll show you why I'm doing it, but it takes a little bit of time to load. But remember what I did was I used the same data source for this, all these 4 visualizations. See this, so it's showing here total claim amount by vehicle class. And then here is a set of, it's just a set of states. And here is also a set of states. All right. What I could do is, for example, if I select the state Oklahoma, all 4 visualizations will be adjusted for Oklahoma. Why does it happen? Well, because I use the same data source for all these 4 visualizations, all right? So they will just adjust to show only Oklahoma, all of these 4. See this, I selected Oklahoma here, Oklahoma got selected in here, and all of this got refreshed only for that state. Okay, good so far? Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna break these connections. I'm gonna click here. While clicking here, right, it should allow me to break connections. See, like I can click on this guy here, and do you see the, well, there should be an option to, see, I click on widget connection, there should be an option to disconnect it. It's taking time to load today. Oh. Well, no, that's not it. But there should be, what happens is when I selected this, right, when I selected this, it should give me an option to break my connection. There should be 3 options. One option is to add it to another group. Another option is to break it. And another option is if you had it broken, then reconnect. Loading is slow, but what I was trying to say is that I can break this. I can have these 2 connected and this to be a separate group, okay? Well, okay, I'm trying it again. So basically the whole idea is I can break it and I can select one state at the top and another state at the bottom, right? So that these are no longer connected. They are right now, but this thing is not working today. Cognos is slower than usual today, okay? Well, see, right now I select an E, and it selects an E everywhere. But what I want to do is I want to unfilter it. Then I want to select this guy here, and I should be able to break the connection. It's not, Cognos is slow today, so I don't know if any of you ran into issues with your assignment today, but I'm reproducing the issues. Okay, so basically, I'm gonna show it to you in a slide when we get to it. So basically, in this slide, I'm just summarizing. Yes, it's been slow. Yes, exactly. It's also slow on the admin side. I had a hard time with the setting up today too. So yeah, but here, well, basically, I just summarized what you have, right? I summarized. I'll get to the tab in a second. So here, this is just showing you what you can change for the tabs. I did a demonstration, right? You have a color indicator and different underline. Yes. There are multiple widgets that you can add. Remember, you have pin visualizations. Pin is nothing but a bookmark, and I have a video on how to use that. You have visualization library, or you can drag and drop fields. You can duplicate and edit, right? So, and also it's possible to use data from more than one data module, right? Well, this is just how you use visualization from the library. You just drag and drop. In this case, it's a heat map, and you just can specify what you want to visualize, right? And you can change type of visualization, etc. Right? And then you can specify the properties such as color, right? So that's a pie chart that I showed you. But in addition to that, you can also add the title, and for the title, you can change the title color, etc. Right? Well, this is about adding a widget, but hold on. Well, it's still not cooperating. It's still not cooperating. Well, well, because the idea is right now I select one state, right? But I can break the connection. I can select, let me find the slide. Not this, oh, it's here. Well, see this? What I could do is, do you see this little here, the little grayed out, but you have, you can break links to the visualization. You can add visualization to existing group, or you can create new connection. Well, like you see on the slide here, do you see this? Everything is linked to one, but what I could do is I could break. Well, the good use would be to compare two states, for example, here. I have total claim amount by vehicle class, but I want to see if this data is different by state. So for instance, I can select Kansas here, and I can select Oklahoma here, right? This visualization will be for Oklahoma, this visualization will be for Kansas, and I want to compare those two, right? So that's basically what the point is. But this is not cooperating, this thing here. See, if I do this, it's supposed to show widget connection. I was supposed to see like 1, 1, 1 in here, but it's not. Today is a bad day, not sure. Maybe they need to bounce it. If this performance continues, let me know. We'll see what we can do. But today was it okay yesterday or just today?
It's been the
Oh,
last couple of days, I think, since at least over the weekend for me.
oh, okay. Okay, well, they may need to bounce the server. I don't know. Well, I have to tell them. But see this. Well, the whole idea is you can do okay 3 or 4 days. Okay, okay. Yes, I have to tell them because with that it's yes it's difficult. Now the thing is that then I have another thing that I created. Hopefully it will cooperate. Let's close it without saving. Okay, now in my content, I have another one. I have the little demo. Is it this? Maybe this. Let's see. Car insurance dashboard. I created the whole dashboard for you, but it's not. Oh, thank goodness it opened. Well, see this. So this is a dashboard here. You can add widgets. What are the widgets? So this is what is this? This is a text, right? Right now I'm in the view mode, so I'm gonna go to edit mode. This is a text. What properties can you specify for the text? Remember, and I have a detailed video about these widgets, but this is a text widget, and you can do in the appearance, I specify the fill color, I specify the border color, right? And then I can do other stuff. But this is a text, right? When I highlight the text, I get this text details here, and I can change the text color, I can change the style and alignment. And I can also change this in a little toolbar, right? For the images, you cannot copy and paste the picture directly. What you have to do is you have to get the URL, right? So URL has to end with something like .png or .jpg. It has to be the file on the web, right? So basically, you could go to Google, right? Like Google, Google, and you can search for images. And I want to do images, and I want to search, for example, like let's see, a cat, right? Or like cats. Well, so see this as a cat. What you could do to get the image URL, you go to right click. Well, let's try to do copy image link and see what happens, because you want to make sure that the link is working first, right? Control V. Oops, that's not it. You want to make sure that the image link ends with a PNG or JPG, right? And it's not just the page. So basically, well, it depends on the browser, okay? How you get this link, it depends on a browser. Well, so like basically, see this, if I do that, then I can do open image in the new tab, and that's gonna be the, oh, it's still not showing. I can do this. I can try this. Copy image link usually, right? Usually it's copy image link. And then if you put this here, it should be .png. There we go. Copy image link. So this is correct URL. And this is a URL that you would use, okay? It has to end with JPG or PNG. Then you're gonna go to your Cognos and you specify it in the property, image link. Well, do you see this? It ends with PNG here, right? So, well, you cannot copy and paste the picture. Well, you have to use this, you have to specify the link to it. So now you know this, right? And you can add also videos, and you can add the shapes if you want, right? So these are the widgets here. You can add those if you'd like, okay? So you know that. Now, take a look at how many tabs are in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And I numbered those tabs for a good reason. Okay, so I've got in this here, I've got 5 tabs, and I numbered them for a good reason. Now take a look at what we just did. We created the dashboard, but there is no way to create any animations. Then customer, whoever is using it, would have to navigate between these tabs manually, right? And on each tab, I cannot specify when things show and for how long this page is visible, right? I cannot control the visibility. So that leads us to another topic, and the topic is called the story, right? So that's a story. What is a story? Story is an overtime narrative. This could be similar to PowerPoint animated presentation with numerous visualization, or it can be as a narrative, right? So basically, you do not export any insights from visualization, right? You just present it. And again, you specify when things appear, disappear. You can add new images. You can add more visualizations, shapes. You can also add calculations, but remember, any calculations that you add to the story won't be available for another dashboards and another stories that you create from the same source. So you may want to add what you need to add to the data module, right? So, and then to create a new story, you would have to click on new and then click on story. You can do it from the new menu at the bottom, right? Well, so you can do that. Create a new story just from the scratch, right? But I'm gonna show you the shortcut that you're gonna use for your assignment 4. So, well, first of all, for assignment 4, the continuation of 3, you use the same data set that you use for 3, and you're gonna create a dashboard. Next step is only when you're ready, okay? Only when you're completely ready, the dashboard is done. What you can do is you're gonna click on this floppy disk. There is an option to save this dashboard as a story. You wanna go here, save as a story. Well, then remember there are 2 layouts here. I'm gonna click the slideshow for right now, right? And I'm gonna click on select, and at a moment, things supposed to be saved to your content area. Assignment 4, everything is saved to your content area. This is my content. by default, it's gonna call this story car insurance dashboard. But maybe I already have this with this name. Well, I'm just gonna say override. It's gonna ask me now. I just say override, okay. And also I had it checked to open. So this is a okay, so this is a story. Now, do you remember there were 5 pages, 5 tabs? Every tab in a dashboard becomes a scene in a story. See this, so those are the scenes. The first tab where I had this little, where I had this heading and a picture, this becomes my scene 1. This is scene 2, right? And then I have scene 3, 5 scenes. Now remember that you exported it, but if you go back to your dashboard and make changes, those changes will not be available here, because when you save it, right, it was as of the moment when you save it. They're not synchronized. So you want to make sure that you're totally done with your dashboard before you do that, right? Dashboard is still available. You may still make changes to it, but those changes won't be applied here. Okay. So well, that's a good start, but I'm not done yet, right? So see, I've got this. What I can do is I can, for each of these scenes, I can specify when object on the scene appear and disappear. Well, see that, so I can click open the timeline. See that this is a timeline. Each visualization here is represented as a bar in the timeline. And this is a start, right? This is a time when the scene becomes visible. And this is a time when the scene becomes invisible, right? So that's actually visible for 5 seconds by default. See, if I want the first visualizations to be visible only after 2 seconds, I take this and I drag this here. See this? I drag this here. Well, it looks like it disappeared. Well, because when you preview it, it will be visible after 2 seconds. Now here, this is another one here. Suppose that I want this to disappear after 3 seconds. I can drag and drop like this, right? But am I limited to 5 seconds? No, of course. I can just take this and expand this. This will automatically make the scene longer than 5 seconds, okay? Well, this is how you do that, see? Then when you play this scene, you will see you will see that you specify when things are visible, when things are not. Okay, so that's this, and I'm gonna close this timeline. And I wanted to try to preview. Let's see if I place this one. Does this see not visible? Shows, disappears, and this is more than 5 seconds. Only this to show, right? Because I did not expand this one. I specified to show only 5 seconds, right? All right. So, well, that's the main difference. You can show when things appear, disappear. But first of all, what is this? Take a look at this. What is this? This is the same data source that you used for the dashboard, right? That was the standalone calculation. I still see it here. When I click on here, claims and weather, do you see? I still have all of this calculation, and I still have this filter if I wanted to use it, right? Personal policy for small vehicle, I can still apply it when I want to. And see that all those columns, I still have them. I can still see the properties, and I can still add calculations if I want, right? But those calculations won't be visible anywhere else in another stories in another dashboard. They will be visible only here. So remember that for your assignments too, right? Same applies to navigation path. If I create it here, it will be visible only here, right? And if I want to, I can add new scenes, and I can add visualizations to new scenes. Same way, right? I can add visualization from scratch. I can use assistant. I can use pins. Everything the same as in dashboards. I can add the filter and apply the filter to all scenes, or apply the filter to a single scene. right? Some concept that you saw when you did the dashboard, but I need to explain here some differences. So see this here, transition style. Basically, when you have a slideshow, it means that each scene shows on a different canvas. But the guided journey, the scenes are connected and they show on the same canvas, and I have to show you that. But then also for both, regardless of which one you choose, you configure when things appear, disappear. You might change the duration, right? Apply filters, add animation, etc. Right? So basically, both of them can be created from dashboards or from scratch, right? And you may customize the transitions. Well, and also you've got the properties, remember? The properties that you can change depends on what you have selected at the moment. And I have to let you explore a lot of that because the thing is we're going to be here until tomorrow if I go over all of this. Okay, so here, well, this one is, I selected the slideshow and I can specify the animated type, a past transition. Then I can go save what I have and I can go to the view mode. Then I can do I want to go back to the first screen and I want to do preview. Well, previous scene now. So it's playing the preview of all scenes and it's gonna show, oh, that's a problem. I had to specify the play all scenes. I had to set that. Okay, so now let's see. I'm gonna play again. Now it's supposed to go to the next one. Next one. See, it sees the visibility. Do you remember the visibility? Right? See, and then another one. See, that's the last one. Well, almost last one. And I did not specify the duration, so that's what it's doing, right? But here, see this? It's on a different canvas. It does not show on the same canvas. Now I'm gonna go back to the edit mode and I'm gonna go to the properties and I want to do instead of slideshow, I want to do the guided journey and I'm gonna select the layout, like this layout. Then I can do, see this, so the guided journey layout. Now here, this is an option. At the very start, right, at the very start, I can see all of my scenes here, like that. So like minimize. Over here, I'm supposed to see all of the scenes on the very first. Yep. And that's what you want to do to turn in a screenshot. It's supposed to show all of them. It's taking time to load, but once it loads, you're gonna see all of them in here, right? Well, it's supposed to show all 5 on the first one and on the last one. So you're supposed to take a screenshot of that once it shows. But now you can go back to preview. Oh, see this? Now it's starting to show. But when you preview, right, you can play all scenes again. But today it's, well, see this, play all scenes, and I can do play, but I have to let it load because if I try to stop it too much, it's not gonna do anything good. Well, see, it still thinks I'm in the edit mode. Well, I'm in the edit mode right now. Oh, take a look at it. Now it's almost loaded. Almost. So you're gonna have to take a screenshot of this because when you submit something, you need to show that you created a story, right? So this is the screenshot that you can take. That's easy, right? And I still have this property set to play all. Selecting the first one, go into the preview. Now I'm gonna try to play it. Play. Well, do you see what's gonna happen? How transition goes? It's gonna change. See, it's the same canvas. Those things slide. See, visibility here, same canvas. As I play my scene, see how does it they slide? But it's using the same canvas. It's not using different canvas as I was showing you before. Okay. There we go. So see, well, this is a shortcut for assignment 4. You're gonna create a dashboard first, then you're gonna save the dashboard as a story, right? Okay, save. Then what you're gonna do, you're gonna define the transitions and etc. Right? Well, because see, you have a question about the advantages of dashboards, what you cannot do, advantages of stories of a dashboard, right? Because this is overtime narrative. You can specify the durations of these things. You can specify the order in which the user may see stuff, right? You add these animations here. You specify the transitions between those things, right? And if you want to, you can add a new one. You can add a new one, you select the template and play around, right? You can do that. But suppose that you don't have anything to start with. You could also create a brand new story from here, new. Then you're gonna go here, select the story, right? Then you can do anything like slideshow, create, but this is a lot of work. But before you create anything, you have to do what? Select the data source, right? Then the data source is gonna be, well, probably you want to select for your this one, my content, and it's going to be claims and where's the data module, and you're gonna do add, okay? Well, so that's the data source that you added, and then you can just do just slowly by adding a page and adding a visualization. So see, those are the templates that you can select from. Well, same thing, you know. I like the 2x2, but you know, it depends on the purpose. But with 2x2, it takes less time to load. Then you can specify, you can select visualizations here. Remember, you've got the bookmarks, right? You can still use the bookmarks, well, etc. Oops. See this? There is a problem because it's associated with data set that is not available. I have to delete this thing. Some of the bookmarks are old. Some of the bookmarks I have to clean up. But well, the thing is, whenever your data set, the data that was used as a source for the pin got deleted, then pin is no longer valid. You cannot do it, right? But in my case, it's supposed to be working. Not sure why. Oh, it's reloading. It's taking time to refresh. So not good today, right? Delete. Okay, so now you know the idea. You can create it from scratch. Okay, I'm not gonna save it. I'm just gonna close it. Close without saving. Well, okay. So this was a demo that was I created it ahead of time, so that's why I was able to get it to work. But also, what you could do, see this is a data tray. You can see the data that is being visualized here, right? So just know that. And again, you can change multiple properties. The properties that you are able to change depends on what you have selected, okay? Colors and etc. I'll let you play around. Because if I showed you here every single properties, we would stay here overnight, okay? Well, see this, there is a lot. Okay, let's go back to the slides. Well, this is just different transition style for the stories. This is just the overview, right? You can open the time frame and you can add new scene, etc. Right? This is just spell things out for you. You could see there are several objects and you specify where the times for each object. You just drag and drop the start and end point on the timeline to specify when things appear, disappear. And again, you can add filters if you like. It just, yeah. Now, and then, well, this is just how to export dashboard as a story. I have it here. I put it here. Okay. Well, next thing. Well, see, this is just shows me that each tab in the dashboard is going to be the scene in the story. So you want to make sure that you plan it carefully, right? and save it when you are ready. Because any change that you make right after won't show in a story, or the other way around. Okay. Well, there are some sample dashboards and sample stories in here. If you go back to the welcome page, this is not something that you're going to submit for the grade, but I just want to show that if you totally have no idea what can be done, you go to the team content. There is some stuff that was pre-installed. It's in samples, and there is some dashboard. This is sample dashboard, and your permissions for this folder called run. So that means that if yes. Did you say something? No? Okay, so see this? You can open it here and the preview. See, those are the existing dashboards that are given to you as samples. So you can open them, but see what I was saying? The more you have, the longer it's gonna take to load, right? The more you have, the more stuff you add, the longer the page is gonna take to load, see? Well, but that's okay. You can look at it, you can explore it at your leisure time, but you have your permission for this folder is called run. So it allows you to see what the files are. It allows you to actually preview. That's what it is. Run is a little bit more than a read. Okay. No, but you cannot edit anything. You would have to save a copy of your content. Now we are gonna hit what you're gonna do for assignment 5. Assignment 5, first of all, assignment 5 is a group work, so it's an opportunity for you to exchange knowledge, if you will, and work with your team members. Usually it's between 3 to 5 people in the group. It depends on the professor. But, well, first of all, if you look at the team content, right, go back. So see, you've got this data for assignments. Well, see this is assignment 5, and you have 5 dataset choices for assignment 5. If you want to challenge yourself, try life expectancy or US news, because both of these have missing values. But US news data, it's about the college graduation rate. And all of these data sets, regardless which one you choose, all of these are real data from real studies, okay? So, and some of them have more than one options that you want to predict. For example, for the cars, you can predict the car efficiency on a city road, or you can predict the car efficiency on a highway, okay? And for this one, you want to look at the graduation rate, okay? College graduation rate. This is very interesting. So, but you may choose any of these, okay? So the way you want to do it is that for each group, you want to choose the team leader. And after you choose the data set you're going to use, the team leader needs to copy it to the designated team folder. So what is a team folder? How do you access it? Later on, when we get closer at the end of week 9, your instructor will put you in groups in Leo, and I'm going to take the same group assignment and do it here, create the shared folders for you. You're gonna see something called assignment 5 group work. But for the purpose of this demonstration, let's assume that I'm taking session 9040 and I was placed in a group 1. Let's just assume for that, right? And when you log into Leo, right, you see what session you're in. At the top, it says your session, if you're 9040 or 9041, right? So when you click here, assignment 5 group work, you're gonna see a folder with your enrollment semester. Right now is what, spring 2023. So you're gonna see this folder called spring 2023. When you click on it, you're gonna see your team. First of all, if I'm a member of team 1, I'm not gonna see the folder for team 2, right? If I do that, then something is wrong, and you know, I need to submit a ticket. They have to fix it. Elena has to fix it. But well, here this is a team 1. I click right now, it's empty. I don't have anything. You're supposed to have a right permission for your folder. You're supposed to be able to save files in your folder. Okay, this is your designated area. Well, let's see what you can do with the team. So you made the decision, right? And you decided to work with cars data, let's say. So this is data for assignment, right? So this is assignment 5, and I have cars data. Your team leader has to do this. Go here, right? And select this one, copy or move, and then select copy. Well, let's see. Well, but this time they're gonna copy the folder to the team content. We're gonna copy the data to the team content. So I click here, team content, and I'm going to select assignment 5 group work. Then I'm supposed to see my enrollment semester, and I'm going to see this one, right? This is the my folder for the team, and I'm gonna do copy to. Don't do move to do copy to, right? Move to gonna give you an error because, well, when you move something for the fall, when you move something secretly, you're deleting it from the source, right? But you don't have a right permission for this folder, right? You only have a right permission for your group folder. So now, how do you know that you copied the file? Everybody on the team should be able to see it. So I go here, I go to my assignment 5 group work. This is my enrollment semester. This is my team folder. I see it here. Next thing what the team leader needs to do is create a data module. And you save the data module in here, right? Create data module. Oops, it's going to be slow, I know. Well, then you have to save the data module in here. Widget data. Okay, now I'm gonna say here, save as, and I want to save it to my folder, right? My team folder. Okay, come on. Okay, so this time it's gonna be the team content, assignment 5 group work, and it's my semester, right? And I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna save it as cars data module, right? And I'm gonna do the save, okay? I saved it, okay? Well, right now, I'm supposed to have 2 files in there, in my group folder, right? Once it's done saving. And I wanted to show you if it works. I wanted to show what happens on the teammates end. Hopefully it will let me do this. Save us. Oh boy. No, I have to tell the help desk for them to reboot this because this performance is slow. And it has been like this for a few days, right? Because, okay, here we go. Now I'm gonna close this. Okay. Now, well, it appears in the recents, but also it's gonna appear in the team content. Remember, team content. Here it shows where I am in right now. I'm in my folder. Okay. So I was signed in as a demo 3. So let's see if it lets me log out. Well, see, what I was trying to do is I'm trying to log out, and then I'm trying to log in as a classmate, which is demo 2, and show you that the classmate is gonna see, oh, okay, here it is, sign out. Oh, this is a problem. This is a problem. Before you sign out, what you have to do is you have to close everything. See, close without saving. You need to close everything because if you don't close everything, you're gonna have a problem. Okay. Well, because the thing is, when you share the work, right? You work in a team, you both cannot edit the same file at the same time. Even if I logged out, if I still have the file open, I still have a lock on it. See, now I have to get this to show again. Okay, but see, I had a warning because I did not save all the work. Now I'm gonna sign out. Okay, I signed out. Right now I'm gonna pretend that I'm a teammate and I'm gonna log in as a teammate, but hopefully it will cooperate because it's been a little rough loading the homepage. Yeah, they have to do the, okay, here it is. Right now I'm gonna do demo, right? And the permissions are the same as for your accounts. Okay, so this is supposed to be signing in. So I'm just assume that those two users are in the same group, and they are. I put them in the same group. So when demo 2, when the team member logs in, the team member should be able to see the files that the first team member copied, right? So I'm a teammate and I have access to the same group. So now if I go to the team content, I should be able to see the folder for the group work, right? I go here and I go to the, that's in the team content. I'm going to be able to see this. Come on. Team content, there should be the folder. I know. Okay, so here it is, assignment 5 group work. And because it's the same enrollment semester and I'm in the same group, I should be able to see these two files that my teammate just did. It's in here. Okay, see this? Now what I could do as a teammate, I can click here and do create data exploration. Well, I'm just doing a demo of what you're gonna do, right? You're gonna do some editing, some apply some filters, etc. But at some point you can do create data exploration. Come on. And I have to save it. I'll just do anything, it's just to do demo. Okay, loading data exploration. Okay. Okay. Takes forever today. Okay, now I got that right to the data exploration. Okay, ooh, what is this? Huh. Well, this is, it just, okay. All right, so do new, do single card. Not sure what's going on, but I just choose visualization type and I'm just gonna do, well, I'm just, did it load the data set? Let's see, did it load the data? Yes, it did. Okay, good. So I just go do the choose visualization type and I can do, well, I can do decision tree if I want to. Then I have to specify the target. Okay, but I have to specify the target. Well, see that this is a cars data, right? So here you can predict a city miles per gallon or highway miles per gallon, whatever you decide. Okay, so that's a car efficiency data. So this is a target, just for example, right? So that's my decision tree. And I want to do is I want to save it. Save us. And I want to save it in a group folder. Well, it's I have to be patient today with this. Okay, because that's going to be in a team content, not my content, but it's a team content, right? Team content. Then I have assignment 5 group work, and then I have this enrollment semester. Then I have this folder, right? And I'm just going to do cars exploration, right? I save this. Now what I need to do, I'm done working. What I have to do with the file? I need to close it, right? Well, because if I don't, there could be problems, okay? There could be problems because you don't want two people to be editing the file at the same time. When you have it open, right? So close this. I'm not sure why I did that. Okay, I closed everything. Now I'm going to log out again, right? If it lets me, hopefully it does. Well, see, it's supposed to show the logout. When I click on the personal menu, it should be an option. I just saw it. It disappeared. Oh, here it is. Sign out. Now I'm going to sign back in as a demo 3, and I should be able to see what I just did as a demo 2. That's the whole point. You're working together. You have, as a group, you have the same permission. You have a right permission for your group. You shouldn't be able to see other groups, right? Only TA and professor can see the groups in the session that they teach. Okay, and I see as an admin, I see all of them. Okay, so and this is okay. So that like this here. I'm going back in, and I should be able to see. Well, another thing is that you want to make sure that you use data that is saved in the team folder. Why? Because your group member cannot see the data that is saved in your personal folder. And when they try to view the exploration, they won't be able to see visualizations because the visualization is based on data that is not in a team folder. So make sure that you're working from the data saved in a team folder, okay? Well, see this now, I'm going to go back in here in the team content, and I should be able to see what my teammate did. Okay, team content. Okay, assignment 5 group work, then it should show my semester, and then I should be able to see this. So this is the work, see? I see this. One thing is to remember is this, if I do something stupid, if I go delete this data module, this exploration workbook will be invalid. That's it, there is no way to fix it. Even if I recreate the data module with the same name, this exploration will be damaged forever because each specific car data module, it has a unique identification number. See, like if I look at the properties, there should be a unique number associated with this data module. And if basically there is a unique number for that data module, and then when the association, the exploration is looking for that specific identification number, so to speak, see? It's looking for the specific, see this? This is an ID. This data module has a certain ID that is not editable. And this car's exploration is looking for the data module with specific ID, not the name, but ID, see? So when you delete this data module, there is no way to fix car exploration. That's a reason I just asking you, be careful, okay? Oh, another thing is that if you don't see your folder, another way to find out if you were added to the groups is in your personal one. Okay, well, see this, if you go to the preferences, my preferences, oops, it should show you, you should be able to see your advanced settings. That's supposed to see your groups and rows. So see this? Well, it should see, you should be able to see. So this is just all authenticated users. It means that it just lets you log in, everyone in data 610. So that allows you to see the team content, things like data for this course and the pre-installed data. And that's the group that you are in. See, that's a group membership for assignment 5. That should show in here. That's another way to make sure that you were added to the group, right? Basically, that's what's gonna happen at the end of week 9. When I get the group memberships, I'm gonna do configuration in Cognos, and you will need to, as soon as the professor tells you it's done, please do yourself a favor, log in and check to make sure that you're added to the group, right? So there are several things to check. One thing you're gonna check, you go to your preferences, advanced, and you go to the group and roles, you're gonna see your details, right? That's a group that should show. And the way it is, the group name is this structure. The course, this is your enrollment semester, session name and a group number, right? It follows the same convention here. Okay, and then also when you go to the team content, you should see the folder for your group, right? You should see this one folder here. If you don't see that, then you would need to do the ticket. See, that's a folder, and you've got 3 files. Well, when you actually, you're not gonna see any files in your team folder first, because you will need to have a leader. Then you select the file to work with, and the leader will copy and create data module. Then you're gonna need to coordinate what you do, right? Another thing is that you will need to make a video. I would recommend to make a video, you can use Zoom. There is a free version of Zoom, and then you just schedule a meeting with yourself and record, share screen and do recording. But for the Zoom, I can show you something on my account. So this is my faculty account, right? There is a section called recordings. See this? So this one is today's session. It's not ready because we still have a session in progress. This was yesterday's session for Data 650 course. And what you can do is after you're done, right? When you submit the assignment, you have the recording, right, in your Zoom account. Then you click on a share, and here this is a link. This is a link that you're gonna give to your professor and also the passcode, right? You're gonna copy all of this information and share it with your professor when you submit the assignment, okay? So you don't need to worry about uploading the video to YouTube or anything like that. That's visible only to you, your team, and your professor. But for Zoom, you can create free account. The free account limits you to 40 minutes, but trust me, that's more than enough, because your recordings that you create for assignment 5 should be like 10 minutes, no more than 15 minutes, okay? If it's more than 15 minutes, then try to stay more focused on topic. You may need to record more than once and select the best one, it's possible. Decide if you want to, if several of you want to be speaking or if one person speaks, it's up to you to decide, but you'll need to make a recording, and one option to do is to use the Zoom, right? Right now I'm using the faculty Zoom, right? But you will need to use the free version of the Zoom. One of you will sign up, right? So perhaps one person is a leader, is gonna take care of copying data. Another person could take care of the Zoom thing and the recording, right? So that's between you to decide. But the deliverable will be recording and the paper. But again, you don't need to worry about uploading the video anywhere, because you could just share the link from the Zoom with professor straight. Okay, so it's not public, it's private. Well, because in the past we had people who worried about uploading the video to YouTube or something like that. Nope. The way to do it is just to record it in Zoom and share the Zoom link with your assignment submission. Okay. Hopefully that will work. Okay. And here I just spelled out everything for you. There is also a video that shows the steps for this, right? Steps to copy the data and etc. Now remember this, deletions cannot be done because you don't want to be this guy in the picture who lost everything. This is a screenshot of an error that you're gonna get if you delete the, well, see here, this is looking for the house pricing and the data was deleted. See, that's a problem. You can't see anything in the exploration anymore. That's it, there is no way to fix it. And we had students who did it, but thankfully they took screenshots of the work before they did it. So just be very careful. And sometimes you're gonna get this error. This error happens when you have something on the recent. you have file on the recent, but the file was removed. So you can get this error, right? Oh, then also be careful with this. In here, in the action menu, you have two options. If you want to remove from recent, you select remove from recent, right? You don't delete the file when you remove from recent. It will still show in my content or whatever it is, or team content, depending where it's saved. But when you do delete, you delete the file, you lose the file, okay? So if you just don't want it to show in recent, you want to select remove from recent. Do not select delete. I already made that mistake before and I lost my work, okay? So just remember that. You don't want to lose your work, okay? This is a bonus example and I have a video on a bonus calculation. Basically here I'm writing a case statement. Instead of just actual doing the grouping, you can use the grouping that is defined in the data module, right? You can use group functionality to create data group, or you can write a case statement to create your own function. You can write the code, right? Because, well, behind the scene, when you create data group, behind the scene, the advanced code is written. So you probably don't want to look at it. It's complex. But this is something that you can write. Remember earlier, I said that you can do visualizations without writing code. That's true. But sometimes if you want like more complex calculation, you may need to write a little bit of expression code, okay? But still in general, you're not writing code for the visualizations, for the data modules, for the models, right? You will be doing that in a next course. You'll start doing a little bit of the Python coding, etc. in the data 620, right? But in this course, no, it's just mostly done for you behind the scenes. Analysis are done for you, and you just build visualizations, build dashboards, etc. Right? You're not doing coding in this course yet. Okay. So now, do we have questions for me, please? Folks, do you have questions for me? I know it's a long session, but you'll need to watch this more than once. Remember? Any questions for me? That's a good opportunity for questions. No?
Hi, Alina. One question.
Mhm.
You are showing me the connections demo module, right? So that's it will automatically, when you pull those visualizations, if it is created based on the same source, then the connection will be getting established automatically.
Yes. Yes. Basically, yes. So let's see if it cooperates right now. That's excellent. Well, let's see. It's in my content, right? I have this connection demo. Let's see what it does right now. Because basically, yes, by default, automatically, all widgets that use the same data source are connected. When I select one data point, right, the same data point is selected in all of these widgets on the same page. Come on, work. Well, see this? I'm trying to open it and it's not. I know. Well, the thing is, it was. Oh, here it is. It's opening up, isn't it? Okay. Oh, and I have to be in the edit mode also. I'm in the view mode now, right? I have to be in the edit mode. Maybe that was it, but no. Well, see this? I'm in the edit mode right now, and it's loading. Yes, I have to bounce it. Okay. Well, because the thing is, nobody reported the performance issue. So I assumed everything was okay, and then I went in to copy some stuff before the demo and got hard time. Okay, so basically, there are 4 visualizations in here. And when I select one visualization, right, and select something like a data point, in this case, it was a state, I selected the state, and then it filtered all visualizations for that state, yes. But I have an option to break the connection. See this? Oh, now it's working a little bit. I see widget connections. See this? All of these are in the group 1. Now I can click on this, here it is, it shows right now. See this is a claim amount by vehicle class. What I could do is I can do this, create new connection. So it's broken right now, right? And I can click here also, and I can do this here. I want to connect it to this one, see? I broke the connection, so right now, well, it's gonna be like this. Now it's gonna be like this. I select Oklahoma here. Oklahoma will be selected only here, not here, because I broke it, see? And I can select another state here. Then I can do comparison by states. See this? That's what the purpose is. Yeah, the software has been very slow. So what I have to do is we have to report this, and I need to bounce the application on the server. I have to report this. Well, but see this, the whole idea is that right now I selected Oklahoma here, and I selected the different states. They're not connected right now. I broke the connection. So that's the whole point. By default, they are. But sometimes I want to look this total claim amount by vehicle class, but I also want to do the comparison by the state, see? So in this case, the state matters, right? Do you see this for this SUV? The state matters. But then to unbreak it, I can go back to, oops, not create new connection, but I can do this one, add everything to the first connection. That will unbreak it, right? That will unbreak it. But thanks goodness, thank you for this question, and thanks goodness it works right now. See? Well, by default, yes, if I select a state, it's going to be the same state that will be selected in all visualizations. And not necessarily state, but I just selected states just to show you. See, this is the same state, right? But sometimes I want to break it because I want to do the comparison by the state, right? Just an example. Does it help?
Yes, thanks.
Sure.
So one follow-up question on this one. So when you did establish the new connection, on the left-hand visualization, I can see the state, but on the right-hand side, if I have to see, I will have to hover over the filter to see what state it is.
Oh, well, yes, you can look at the filter to see what state it is. That's correct.
Okay.
Yes, you can do that. And also, well, hold on, what happens when you do this? Well, this is just to see the data being visualized. See, like if you do visualize data, let me see if it gives you the state in here. That, well, in theory that should, but well, let's see what's happening. I would assume it does, yes. Do you see that? That's another way. I selected this visualization. Take a look, see? I click on view data, and this is the data that is being visualized in here. See this, there is a state code.
Okay.
Does it help?
Yes, sure. Thank you. And you are showing duplicating the visualization, right? So while you duplicated and then you changed the column name, but the title did not get refreshed. So that needs to be manually edited.
You can. Oh, that's title. That was edit title, right? Yes, you need to manually edit it because I edit the title.
Okay.
See this, like this title here, I edited it. I went to the properties. Yes. See, like here, I went to the properties, and when you select the visualization, well, there are options to edit the title. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you have to edit it because if you edit it, then you have to edit it. Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's, yes, sure. That's how it is. I mean, it's not, yeah. Well, and again, the properties that you may change depend on which visualization you have selected, right? And you've got this undo redo as well. Yes. Undo redo just for this file, but you cannot undo the deletions, right? If you delete the file, no way. Yeah. Excellent. Do we have more questions? Please go ahead and ask. It's your opportunity. Don't miss this opportunity.
Elen, is it okay to ask questions as regarding assignment 2?
Well, you need to submit the ticket, yes. But then who's the TA? I need to check. Mike, I think, yeah. But well, assignment 2 you already submitted, right? You
Yeah,
now
but I just wanted to get clarification on outliners. Like maybe this, if you can show us the syntax, on how to remove an outliner from the data.
what is it? Outliers? We're not removing the outliers, right? Well, basically, outlier is unusually large data, right? You just apply the filter like you regularly do, right? You just apply the filter. Remember the filters we did? Well, there is no specific thing here filtering outliers, but you would need to look at the distribution, right? And apply regular filter like you usually do. Like see this, you would need to look, sometimes you can identify by looking at the frequency count. Like for example, suppose that you have only one claim with 5,000, right? Something like that, you can just filter it. You can apply the filters in the data module. Does it help?
Yeah, little.
Huh? Yes or no? Or yes? Does it help?
Yes. I just wanted it maybe to show us, how to go ahead as in the syntax
Oh, well,
to apply the filter.
you just go to data module and create the filters. Oops. Oops, without saving. Well, see this, you have this dashboard. It's in here, my content. I go to this claims and weather data module, right? Okay, well, you can just add a new filter. Like for example, suppose that you have a total claim amount of 3,000, right? And you identify that it's only affecting few cars. Then you can add a new filter and you can specify total claim amount less than whatever, 2,000, something like that. So see this is a claim and weather, right? I can just say this total claim amount, right? I can just do this filter here, right? And I can specify that I want the total claim amount between certain values, can't I? It's taken a long time to load. Well, you have to look at the frequency count and then you can do this. Well, total claim amount, I can just specify that I wanted to have it between certain values, right? Or what you could also do is you can do something called binning, right? You want to look at the total claim amount ranges rather. Like for example, everything above 2,000, right? So see here, you can just do this, right? You can specify what you want. See this? You can do it like this. That will apply the filter. Click OK. And it will filter this data. Does it help a little bit?
Yes, thank you.
Sure, no, you can filter it here, no problem. Well, but then if you do that, you need to explain what you did. And another thing is the binning, right? Because sometimes, like if you have like only few people greater than 2,000, right? You can have it a separate bin, greater than 2,000. Binning will help sometimes because that will also handle new values, potential new values, right? Well, you can do that, but I'm gonna undo this because that's not what I want to do. Well, there is more than one way to do it. There is no right or wrong, but for that you would have to look at the histogram, right, to see where the data is. Okay. You would just look at the histogram. There is no such a thing as that. There is no button where it says, hey, remove outlier. You'll need to look at the frequency counts here and to kind of like go with that, right? But the thing is, for this specific data, remember we saw most of the vehicles were compact cars, like luxury cars were less common here. So yeah, well, it depends on what you're doing. So you need to just explain in your paper if you apply the filter and why you applied it. Does it help? No? Yes?
Yes, thank you.
Sure. Any other questions? I would like to hear questions. Well, I love questions. And hopefully you'll see me again in 6:50. And maybe 6:30, the introduction to R. I do that, the first one, first session. All right. Any questions? So if there are no questions, that we're gonna call it a night. And thank you guys for attending the session. Okay, thank you for taking time. But again, you'll need to watch this recording more than once because it's a lot of stuff thrown at you at once, you know. Okay. So I'm gonna, let's see. Okay, most welcome. So I'm gonna stop this recording and we're gonna call it a night. Stop recording. Okay, stop. Oh,